Let us start today's class. Sri Shankaracharya's Tattva Bodha. We have been studying the three shariras, Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, and the Karana Sharira. Today, after that, we shall continue with the three states, the Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, and then the Pancha Koshas, the five sheets. So let us first start with the Mangalacharan, the Dhyana Sloka. ॐ वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय त्वत्तबोधभिधीयते. So having saluted Sri Vasudeva, Parameshwara Bhagavan, who is the king of yogis, and who is the Guru, the bestower of jnana, the knowledge of truth, this Tattva Bodha is being expounded for the benefit of the seekers after liberation. We will directly come to today's portion. Last day we have studied the Karana Sharira. Up to 12.2 we have studied. We have completed the three Shariras, the study, Sthula Sharira, Karana Sharira, and the Sukshma Sharira. After that, Shankaracharya poses a question in 13.1. The question is, what are the three states of experience? Avasthatrayam kim? तीन अवस्था कौन सी है? So we'll come directly to his answer. In 13.2, he gives answer that Jagrat, he moved on much earlier. Hmm. 13.2, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Avastha. He says Jagrat, Swapna or Sushupti Avastha, these are the three states of experience. The waking state, the Jagrat, the Swapna, the dream state, and the Sushupti, the deep sleep state. And we'll see each of these states explanation. He will begin from 13.3. First question will be there that what is the Jagrat Avastha ka? Jagrat Avastha किसे कहते हैं? What is the waking state? He is answering in 13.4. Srotradi Jnanendriyani Shabdadi Vishayascha Jnayate iti yat sa Jagrat Avastha. What he is telling? He is saying Stotradi Jnana Indriyani. So Strotra, etc. All the five Pancha Jnanendriyas, Srotra Adi, Srotra Chakshu, Swarsha, etc. All the five Pancha Jnanendriyas, and its Vishaya, Ratha. For the Srotra, Vishaya is Shabda, for the Chakshu, Vishaya is Rupa, and so on. So the Shabdadi Vishaya, the five Vishaya, Dwara, through the Vishyaschaiva, that which is known, Dwara jo jani jati hai, Jnayate, iti, that is called the Jagrat Avastha. The state of experience in which the sense objects, sound, shabda, ittadi, are perceived through the sense organs, Srotra, ittadi, through the Pancha Jnanendriyas, that is called the waking state. So very Clear definition, waking state is when our Gyanendriya is functioning, and through that we are experiencing for each Gyanendriya the respective objects in this world of ours, and that is called the Jagrat. When we are not experiencing, then that is not our Jagrat state. Like in sleep, we are not aware of even anything happening outside, or we do not hear, we do not see, we do not perceive the touch during sleep time. So whenever we experience those things, that is a Jagrat state. And he's telling another more thing, that in 13.5, Sthula Sharira Abhimani Atma Vishwa iti Uchyate. This Sthula Sharir, that this which in the Jagrat state we are experiencing, we are doing this, that Abhimani Atma, तो विश्व कहा जाता है. This is another technical term in the Vedanta. The self, the Atman, when it is identifying itself with the gross body, with the Sthula Sharira in the state of experiencing the Jagrat state, then that is called as Vishwa. This is in the Vyashti, in the individual self. And in the Samashti case, the when it is a collective state, this is called, corresponding is called as Virata. So this is the two things when the same in the individual self. When in the Sthula Sharira Jagrat, with the name nomenclature given is Vishwa, and the same for the collective self, or the for the Samashti, then there it is called Virata. The visual also, and for individual, and for the Samashti, it is called Virata when it is a collective self. The collective part is not given here, but because it is a very short treatise, we will just adding that part. Next comes, any discussion about that will may come on later after we can finish these three parts, and the Pancha Kosha also we may try to do. Then 13.6, he says, Swapnavastha keti chet. Swapna avastha ka iti chet. That which is the swapna, dream state. He is giving the answer. Jagrat avasthayam yad drishtam yad srutam तज्जनित वासनाया निद्रा समये यह प्रपंचः प्रतीयते सा स्वप्नावस्था. In the Jagrat avastha, when in the waking state, yadrishtam, whatever we have seen in the waking state, means by the five Gyanendriyas, whatever Vishaya Bhoga has been done, whatever seen, yat srutam, whatever we have heard, like that, any others, what we have touched, and by the five sense organs, that janita vasanaya, through that the impression, vasana means the vasana, that impression which is born. Whatever we experience, it gives a impression in our mind through that, because these are Bahirindriya, those in the Antarindriya, in the mind. So whatever Vishaya we experience, we see or hear or touch, etc., one print like an impression reaches and stays in the Antakarana. So that the Janita Vasanaya, through that Vasana means through that impression is born, through that Vasana, through that impression, in the Nidra Samaye, when we are sleeping, in the time of Nidra, Yaha Prapancha Pratiyate, whatever the world or the happenings are felt there, the projection happens of the world, that is called Sra Swapna Avastha. तो स्वप्न अवस्था किसे कहते हैं, ऐसे पूछने पर बताते हैं कि सोते समय जागृत अवस्था में जो देखा तथा सुना है, उससे जनित वासना द्वारा निर्मित जो प्रपंच प्रतीत होता है, उसे स्वप्न अवस्था कहते हैं. Means in the Sthula Sharira, in the Jagrat Avastha, whatever we experience by the five sense organs, the Vishayas, those impressions, the memory remains in the Chitta, in the Antarindriya. And when we are sleeping, when this Jagat, external world is not there, But through that memory of that, we create another so-called dream world, that those experiences we can remember through the chitta, that what we have seen, what we have heard, what we have smelt, we have touched, and so on. And then through that we feel that world is happening in our sleep, and many things good or bad, and many beautiful things, wonderful things, and many things are happening. So that experience is called swapna avastha, which is related or secondary to our experience from the Jagrata Avastha. And that happens in the Sukshma Sharira, that means in the mind, and it because in the that time when we are sleeping, these external organs, the Gyanendriyas, karma, they are not working. Only the mind is functioning. And the impressions, the vasanas, they in the mind. Through that we are remembering and we are creating that dream world. So this dream world also in the Sushma Sharira which we are experiencing during Swapna, that also another name. Like the Jagrat world, that the when Atman identifies itself, it is called Vishwa, we said, in the individual self, and in the collective self, Samasti, it is called Virata. Similarly, in 13.7, Sri Shankaracharya says, Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Atma Kaijasa iti Uchyate. The Sukshma Sharira Abhimani, the self which is identifying during the dream state with the Sukshma subtle body where the mind is functioning, but not the external organs, not the Gyanendriyas, Karmendriya. That Atma which is identifying with the Sukshma Sharira in the Swapna Avastha, that is called Taijasa. This is another Vedantic technical term. This is for the individual self, for the Vyashti. But again for the collective self, for the Samashti, the corresponding of this Taijasa is called Hiranyagarbha. We have heard of the name the Hiranyagarbha in many other places. It will come again and again. So there was a creator. So here also, because in the Swapna state, whereas it where they're creating, there is no external creation that time. But whatever we have seen in our heart, experienced in the Jagrat, we are remembering. Through the remembering itself, we are creating in the dream. That creation is called the dream state. And who is doing the creation? The Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body. And that individual self, when he is identifying with this dream and subtle body, it is called Taijasa. And the collective self corresponding, which is identifying the Samashti self, it is called Hiranyagarbha. Now is coming the last one, the Sushipti Avastha, among the three states of experience. अतः सुषुप्ति अवस्था का सुषुप्ति अवस्था किसे कहते हैं? Then what is the deep sleep state? This is his asking. So 13.9 he is telling, अहं किमपि न जानामि सुखेन मया निद्रा अनुभूयते इति सुषुप्ति अवस्था. He is giving the answer for that. Aham kim api na janami. I did not know anything. Aham, I, kim api, nothing, na janami. I didn't know anything. But this much I knew, that sukhena maya nidra, that I have slept. Because when we were sleeping, we are not aware of anything. And that time we cannot even react, we cannot respond. But when we come out from the sleep, and again in the Jagrat, in the waking state, then we say that Sukhena Maya Nidra Anubhyate. I have slept, I enjoyed my sleep, I slept very happily. We say that আমি কিচ্ছু জানতে পারিনি কিন্তু আমি খুব ভালো ঘুমিয়েছি. So these two things we simultaneously say that I did not know anything, but this much I knew. I did not know anything, but except this I knew that I slept well. This knowledge I had. Everybody has this knowledge. When we have a very good sleep, we say I slept well. That this much knowledge we have, but apart from this knowledge, that I slept well. Sukhena maya nidra anubhyata, that I enjoyed a good sleep. Anything other experience I did not have. I said I did not know anything. Aham kimapi na janami. हमें कुछ नहीं पता है, हमने सुख पूर्वक निद्रा को अनुभव किया. यह सुषुप्ति अवस्था है. So this is corresponding to the Karana Sharira, where we have studied in the last class that Karana Sharira is corresponding with the self is when it is as it were that with the upadhi of the avidya or ajnana. Because of the avidya or ajnana, as it were, it is covered, so called. So it doesn't know anything. But because the self itself is the source of Swarupa of Satchit Ananda, so that it's percolated through this. That's why he says that I had a very good sleep, but due to coverage of avidya or maya or ajnana, everybody says that I did not know anything. So this is the universal perception for everybody. And now he says the corresponding the self, which self is identifying itself in the sushupti state, deep sleep, and in the with the karana sharira, with the causal body. The name is his telling कारण शरीर अभिमानी आत्मा प्राज्ञ इति उच्यते. The self, कारण शरीर अभिमानी आत्मा प्राज्ञ कहलाती है. The self which is identifying itself with the causal body, with the karana sharira, in the deep sleep state, it is called pragya. Pragya means pragya prakrishtirupana agya. Agya means that agya means he is aham kimapi na janami. I did not know anything. Because in the dream state, swapna, in the sushma, through sukshma sharira, through manas, through the internal or antarindriya, he is at least experiencing through his the impressions of his jagrat avastha, whatever he has seen, whatever he has touched, whatever he has heard, those experiences are still there in his memory, in the man, in the antarindriya. Through that he is knowing something. He is seeing his dream and he can say that I got this good dream, this bad dream, I experienced this dream. But in this state, the mind is also not functioning. So he is not knowing anything. That's why Prakrishta Rupana Agya. That's why it is called Pragya. That is why this name is given. And but this is in case of the individual self, the Vyashti self. When this is the corresponding that collective self of all the self, all the of the whole universe, of the whole cosmos, that which is called Samashti, then that is called Ishvara. In case of the Karana Sharira and that which is corresponding with this Sushupti, which is in the individual self called Pragya, for the Samashti self, this is called Ishvara. So Ishvara is corresponding with the Pragya of the Karana Sharira and the Sushupti. The Hiranyagarbha, who is the creator, is corresponding with the individual self, in that Samashti Hiranyagarbha corresponding with the individual Taijasa in the Sushma Shari in the Swapna, and the collective that Samashti Virata is corresponding with the Vishwa in the individual self, in the Sthula Sharira, in the Jagrat. So these are the three terminologies and the corresponding Vyashti and the Samashti, the individual self and the collective self. More about this explanations are given in the Vedanta Sara and other books also. Here in this book, in very brief, we are giving. So only the definitions has been provided. Now comes out the Pancha Kosha, the five sheets. 14.1, he asks what are the Pancha Kosha? Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manamaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, Cha iti. The five koshas, we said that there are different models in Vedanta. There is one five koshas, five shifts model. There is another, there's three bodies model. There's Sthula, Sukshma, and Karana Sharira. Another is the three states model. First means Swapna, Jagrata, Sushupti. Different ways the Vedanta to know that Atman and Anatma, to know that because the role is to know the Atman and go beyond this Anatman. So this Anatman is being differentiated and shown in different ways. Sometimes through Pancha Kosha, sometimes through three bodies, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, sometimes through three states, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. All this Anatma will come and then Atma is different from all these things. Slowly he'll go towards that. So Pancha Kosha is telling what are these five sheets. First is the Annamaya Kosha, that is built of Anna, the food sheet, we may say in English, so called. Then the Pranamaya Kosha, we said in the last class about that Pancha Prana, Pancha Vayu, will come here now. That is a Pranamaya Kosha, is you may say that vital ear sheet. Then Manomaya Kosha, Maname is the mind. The Antarindriya, we may say that mental shit. Then Vijnanamaya Kosha. The Vijnana, the Buddhi. Mana Buddhi, Chitta Ahankar, the Buddhi, Antarindriya. That is the intellect. So that is intellectual shit. And the Anandamaya Kosha, the bliss. We may say that bliss sheath. These are the 5 sheaths. Now each and of the 5 sheaths will come in details. That what are the definitions and what is it? What do they mean? First we will come to the Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kaha is giving the answer. Annarasena eva bhutva annarasena eva vriddhim prapya annarupa prithivyam yat viliyate tat annamaya kosha sthula shariram. So he is given the corresponding different model also. He is giving the ideas. Annamaya किसे कहता है? अन्न रसने एवं भूतवा. Anna ras is the food, whatever food we intake, that through that anna rasa, through that food, anna rasane eva bhutva, through that it is built. Anna rasa bana hua. Anna rasane eva vriddhi, through that food only anna rasa hi vriddhi के प्राप्त होता है. वृद्धिं प्राप्य अन्न रूप पृथिव्यम यद विलीयते. This earth, this world is also built of anna only, because it is that Pancha Bhuta in different forms, whether water or air or either Dharitri, whatever food we develop, or even the animals, everybody. So when we die, so we all, again this our Sthula Sharira, it mixes with this Pancha Bhuta. Either it is burnt, cremated, or it is put in the graveyard, in which way that it decomposes and it goes back to its Panchabhuta forms. So Annarupa Prithiviyam Yad Viliyate. This Prithvi also, earth is also Annarupa only verily. So in the end it is Yad Viliyate. Annarup Prithvi में जो विलीन हो जाते हैं तत् अन्नमयः कोशः, वही अन्नमय कोश. And that is the Sthula Sharira. This is our Sthula Sharir, means that is called that our body, gross body, and that is which is corresponding with a Jagrat state, and that is also corresponding with, we called in Veshti it is called Vishwa, and for the collective state, Samashti it is called Virata. So all the corresponding things is putting together. So what is this food sheath? He is telling that it is born of food, which grows by food, which goes back to earth, and which is of the nature of the food also, that is called the food on Annamaya sheath. This is this gross body. We know that Shara Vikara, that everything, this like body or any of this in the world, it carries on these 6 changes. In Gita also it comes, Asti Jayate, then Parivardhate, Viparinamate, Apakshyate, Nashyati. Everybody takes birth and then existence, it comes into existence. Then Parivardhate, it keeps on growing. And Viparinamate, it keeps changing, like metamorphosis, caterpillar becoming a butterfly, or tadpole becoming a frog, and so on, so called. Then Apakshyate, it then decays. In the end, Nashyati, it ends. So here in very short it is given that Annarasana Bhutva, from the Annarasa it originates. Annarasana it is Vriddhi, it then Jayate Asti comes into existence, Vriddhi Parivardhate, then comes the Viparimate, that changing, then it comes decaying, then the end it is given Annarupa Prithivya Yad Viliyate, it ends Nashyati, it finally it ends there. Goes back to this Panchabhuta, this Annaraswarup Prithvi. So this is the foot sheath, Annamaya Kosha, which is also corresponding with the Sthula Sharira, and which is another name is, we call said Vishwa in case of individual self, Jivatman, and in the case of Paramatman, it is called that Virata. and it is corresponding with the Jagrat state of experience, Jagrat Avastha. Then coming the Pranamaya Kosha. Is saying Pranamaya ka Pranadya Pranadya Pancha Vayavaha Vagin Vagadi Indriya Panchakam Pranamaya Kosha. So here is given that what are the five Pancha Prana. It's telling what are they? Actually here shit the Pancha Prana Adi the Pancha Vayu. Prana Adi Pancha Vayavaha. Five the pranas. Who are they? The Prana, Apana, Vayana, Udana, Samana. These are the five Pancha Prana or Pancha Vayu. Sometimes it is called Pancha Prana, sometimes it is called Pancha Vayu. The same. And Vag Indriya Adi, Panchakam. And Vag Indriya, the five organs of action, the Karmendriya. The Vag Adi, that we have studied that Karmendriyas, Vag, Pani, Pada, Upastha, we have done that. So these five Karmendriyas, Vag Adi Indriya Panchakam, Pranamaya Kosha. So Pranamaya Kosha, the five physiological functions of the prana, then together with the five organs of action, Karmendriya, speech, etc., they form the Pranamaya Kosha. Now we'll just enumerate the Pancha Prana here. What are the they? Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. What are they? The work in the Vedanta Sara, their functions are given. In this Tattva Bodha, it is not given, only name has been given. Vedanta Sara and other books given will just tell about their functions. Which is Prana? In Vedanta Sara, it's telling Prana Nama Pragamana Vana Nasagra Sthana Varti, which is residing in the Nasika in there, and our nose, and that Vayu which is Pragamana Vana, that which moves from there. Arthat, through prana means we take inhale and exhale, nishwas prashwasa. In pranama we do rechaka puraka. Puraka we inhale and rechaka we exhale, nishwas prashwas, and kumbhaka we retain that. So this which through that nasika, through the nose, this we take in and take out. So this that vayu prana which functions through that, and through that enters the lungs, and then again comes back through the lung to the ear, and from the ear goes back to the lung. So this prana vayu is called that it is called prana. The other pranas are they have their own names. They have the other names are other prana vayu name have apana, vyana, udana, and samana. So what does the function of this apana, vyana, udana, and samana? We'll come to the apana. Apana means the word is apana means that going down, downwards. Apana nama avagamanavana payu adi sthanavartihi. We said that pancha prana there along with that karmendriyas, the pada, pani, vak, ittadi, and payu upastha. Through that it is called pranamaya kosha. So the apana vayus, apana means you can remember easily that with apana means which is going downwards. That means payu adi sthanavarti through anus that which goes towards downwards. That when during defecation or the flatus we pass flatus. So that vayu which goes downwards, that vayu or that prana is called apana vayu or apana that prana within that pancha vayu. So prana vayu is in the Vijnasika, in the nose, functions through the inhale exhalation, nishas prashwas through the pura prachaka, through the lungs, and apana going downwards through the anus, through the payu, the flattish through defecation. Then comes the vyana. Vyana vayus. Vyana means that which is goes to the whole body in all the directions. So the whole body remains in the balanced, stable state. Vyana nama Vishwagamana Vana Akhila Shariravarti. Vyana remains in the whole body, where prana functions in the mainly lungs through nose, when apana functions through the downwards through the anus, defecation flattish, but the Vyana Vayu in the whole body it just all sides. It moves that way. So it moves in all in the whole body up and down and everybody, the full body it fills up. So that is called Vyana, Vayu. Then in the opposite of direction of Apano, there is another one. Apano was going downwards. Then another Vayu is there which goes upwards. Which is that? Is Udana. Upore jeta jacche upwards. There is Udana. This is the easy way to remember. Udana upore jacche upwards. That is Udana. Going downwards, Adha. That is Apana. Vyana is in all sides. So Udana is Nama Kanthasthaniya Urdhva Gamana Utkramana Vayuhu. So that is remains in the here Kantha sthana in the and so it goes upwards and it is said that when being dies passes away it says that is this udana vayu utkramana is going its leaves goes upwards and leaves his body through his kantha and then through his mouth or the upper part of his body. So this is called Udana Vayu. Goes which outside, upwards. It is the opposite direction of the Apana. And during the death time, with this Vayu, it goes out and through that Jiva relieves the body during death, during Mrityu. You say the Prāṇāyāma Kara Bala hai. Prāṇāyāma means this, specifically this Udana Vayu, which is go upwards already in the natural direction and it leaves through that upper path. And then the last one is the Samana Vayu. Samana means it is the Sharira Madhyagata Ati Ashita Pita Nadi Samikarana. Samana means it keeps everything, Saman means balance, means for digestion. Whatever we intake, food, everything, it makes everything samana. Samana means it helps in digestion, in assimilation of the food, whatever we are intaking, whether solid, liquid, or whatever thing. So it helps it that samana karana, sami karana means so that it becomes fully assimilated, digested. If it is not done properly, then we have indigestion problem, we have belching, and we have hiccups, and so many. We know that we have problems and acidity and other problems. Those who have that stomach and digestion dyspepsia problems. So samana vayu helps in the digestion, to the assimilation of digestion of this, the whatever we are food we are intaking. From that samana, that word comes. So it makes everything the samikarana means everything balanced. And vyana we say difference is vyana is the body vayu or pancha prana which in the whole body. Samana is mostly in the digestive organ, but Vyana is the whole body, not only the just in our muscles, in our other tissues, everywhere. So it keeps our body in the balanced state. And Samana is the digestive part to make assimilate to digest. And then will come the Manamaya Kosha. But before that, we said last day there are also four secondary Vayu, Gona Vayu also called. These are the Pancha Prana. So sometimes these are called Pancha Mukha Prana. Primary Vayu, what we call this Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. Sometimes this Pancha Gona Vayu is also called. Mostly in the Sankhya Darshan mein, in the Kapil Mat, in the Sankhya Darshan, Sankhya Yoga Darshan, which is almost and the very basis of the Vedanta also. Only Vedanta, Shankaracharya is dualistic, Purusha and Prakriti. Vedanta unites that in the non-dualism. And in the Nirishwara Shankar, there is no place of Ishvara. In Yoga, there is a place of Ishvara as a special being. But in Vedanta, there is a special place of Ishvara, who is the Sarvagya and the Ishvara Karma Phaladata, who is the creator. This is the difference. So in Sankhya Mat, they say also five other Vayu, Panchagona Vayu. So we'll just name them. They are called Naga, Kurma, Krikara, Devadatta, Dhananjaya. These are the five names of the Panchagona Vayu. The secondary Vayu, one is Naga, Kurma, Krikara, Devadatta, Dhananjaya. So these five vayus also have their own function. And what we said in the first one, that prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, we'll see that in this function also it is included in those only. They are only specific smaller functions is given, but it also comes in within that pancha, prana, mukha, vayu already. It is said that for the Naga vayu's call is udgiran. Udgiran means that when we do that, we belching or with আমরা ঢেকুর তুলে যেটা হয় খাওয়ার পরে যে ঢেকুর তোলা, that belching or that hiccup. So that is called that Nagavayu Udgiran, to uh, give that bring out that air from inside. After food, we give a shy, or we after like taking cold drinks, others we can bring up the gas or air from the inside. So it said the Nagavayu, it works for the Udgirana. So we see that it is already in the Samana Vayu, it works in the digestive system, and Udana Vayu, it helps in the upside that Gati. So Naga Vayu, though specifically mentioned in a small work, but it may come, if we say, comes within the primary Pancha Vayu only. Then Kurma Vayu. Kurma Vayu, that it function is Unmilan. Unmilan means to open. Open means our eyes, etc. To open our eyes, close our eyes. So that is opening and closing also needs muscle function and other things. So there it is said that Kurma Bayu helps us to open our eyes and close our eyes. So there that air functions. So we may say that in the Vyana Vayu it works in the whole body. So it will maybe say that way, that on a function of that. So that way it is a secondary Vayu, that Kurma, for Unmilan, for opening and closing of eyes. Then is Krikara Vayu. Krikara Vayu is Shudakara. Shuda means that hunger. When we become hungry, we know that we said we are very hungry, or when our hunger is satisfied, we said no, we cannot eat any more thing. Our stomach is full. So this the sense it gives to this Vayu, that when we are hungry in the digestive system, the Vayu just signals us that we need food, or when hunger is been satiated, we say that we don't need any more thing. So that signal is given by this Kirikara Vayu, which helps up this Shuddha, hunger, to signaling that. That's what it is said in Ayurveda, that during taking food, the half of the stomach should be, by our experience, half of the stomach should be filled up by food, then 1/4 of the stomach should be filled up by water, and 1/4 of the stomach should be kept empty for the passing of this vayu. That means that we should not stuff our stomach fully with food. The পেট ভরে খাওয়া সেরকম নয়. The half of the stomach should be filled up, and 1/4 with water. So half and 1/4 total means 3/4. Then 1/4 remaining should be kept empty for the passing of vayu. So this vayu, which is called this kirikara vayu, which is kshudakara, for the work is for the kshuda, hunger, it works there. So it gives a signal when we are hungry, or when our hunger has been satiated by food. Then the another is called Devadatta, the fourth, that secondary vayu. Naga, for the Udgiran, we said that Hikka belching, and then Kurma, the opening and closing of eyes, Kirikara for hunger, then Devadatta is Jrimbhan. Jrimbhan means when we feel very sleepy, আমরা হাই তুলি, যে হাই তোলা ঘুম পেলে দেখি আমাদের ন্যাচারালি আমাদের হাই ওঠে. So এই যে হাই ওঠে, which is called Jrimbhan in Sanskrit, that this is called the function of the Devadatta Vayu. Devadatta, the Pancha, within the Pancha secondary Vayu, Gauna Vayu, the work of this Devadatta Vayu is the Jrimbhan, the Haitola. When we are sleepy, we just we open our, even without knowing, unconsciously or not being aware, we sometimes open our mouth, and we just the oxygen, and we inhale through that. So it is a part that way we may say that it is coming through that part of the primary vayu also, but the specific function, yung Jirimban, the Haitola Jiribhakti, So that part is called, dream one is called Devadatta Vayu's work. Then the last is the Dhananjaya Vayu. Dhananjaya Vayu work is to Poshana Kara. For the whole body is that Pushti, for the nutrition, whatever we are intaking, through that, not only in the digestive system, but that through the tissue fluid and through the blood, the nutrition should reach to each and every corner of our body, generally respective tissues, respective muscles, bones and nerves, etc., will become well or the healthy. Otherwise, it will become sick. So it is called Dhananjaya Vayu. Its work is to keep the body healthy, the nutrition to that it works, the function works nicely. So these are the five secondary Vayu: Naga, Kurma, Krikara, Devatatta, Dhananjaya, which are mostly told in the Sankhya Mata Sankhya Darshana. But as we saw that it is said in the part of the primary Pancha Vayu, Pancha Prana only. So Vedanta mainly mentions the Pancha Prana and not the secondary ones. But Sankhya says the five, so we have mentioned them also. So after this is the Manomaya Kosha. So what is the Manomaya Kosha? 14.4 we can see in the screen. Manomaya Kosha Ka. मनश्च ज्ञानेन्द्रिय पंचकम मिलित्वा भवति स मनोमयः कोशः. What is mental shit? Manah cha, mind, the antarindriya, and then the Gyanendriya Panchakam. In the Pranamaya course, there was a Karmendriya. With the Prana, Pancha Prana, there was Karmendriya. In Manamaya Kosha, there is a Man within the Antarindriya, the Man, along with the Gyanendriya, the five Gyanendriyas, Militva, together form the mental shit, the mind. As you said that in the dream state, that through the Gyanendriya, whichever we have experienced in the Jagra state, in the mind, its impression, Vasana remains, through that we create a dream world, though we are not experiencing like Jagrat and literally by the seeing the objects, Vishaya. So this Manamaya Kosh, when we daydream sometimes, daydreams when we are just sitting, but we are not observing the outside world, but we are thinking in our mind, creating so many thought process and many objects. We are dreaming, daydreaming. Similarly, in the Manamaya Kosh, that is the function with mind with the Gyanendriyas. Then comes the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kaha. Buddhista Gyanendriya Panchaka Militva Bhavati Sa Vijnanamaya Kosha. So Vijnanamaya is the Buddhi. The Antarindriya we have said that is the Mana Buddhi Chitta Ahankara. The same Antarindriya. It is given the four through these four functions. These four names are given. Antarindriya is one only that way, but the according to its function, the four names are being given. Man, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar. So that Buddhi function, that which is intellect function, that Buddhi with the Gyanendriya, the five sense organs of perceptions, that together forms the intellectual sheath. This is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. And now for this Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar, the five things which is of the same mind, Antakarana, it has these five functions and five names that way. What do they mean in that way? The man which is differentiate, what are the differences between man, buddhi and chitta and ahankara? The same antarindriya is sometimes called mana, sometimes buddhi, sometimes aham, sometimes chitta. Which is what? We'll just give the names. The man is, when it is called man, which is called in the Manamaya Kosha, the mind. Mano nama sankalpa vikalpanatmikantah antakarana vrittihi. I am telling from the Vedanta Sara, and this Tattva Bodha, the details are not given of Man, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. The Mana, Man it is called when it is Sankalpa Vikalpatmika, Antakarana Vritti. The Antakarana, when it is doing Sankalpa Vikalpa. Sankalpa Vikalpa means sometimes we are Sankalpa, we are taking Sankalpa, we are deciding something, we will do this. Suddenly Vikalpa, doubt, will not do this. It keeps on changing. Mind always vacillates like a pendulum. Sometimes this, sometimes that, yes or no. So this mind will wavers always. So that function of mind, when we shall do this or we shall not do this, we'll do this or we will do that. So this, when mind thinks over this, cogitates over this, that antakarana, then that functioning of the antakarana is called mind. That's a sankalpa vikalpanaatmika is manaha. That is antakarana vritti. And the same mind, same antakarana, when it is buddhi nama nishchayatmika antakarana vritti. When buddhi, by intellect, it is deciding this, the nischay that I will definitely do this and will get the idea of the through intellect that this is what is needs to be done. There is no doubt. When the doubt remains, then there is mind, sankalpa vikalpana. It is changing, chasing always after its object. But when it decided upon firmly, the nischayatmika buddhi, that is that antakarana vritti is called buddhi. So that's why buddhi is the intellectual shit or the vijnanamaya kosha here. When the same antakaran which decides nischay, it becomes without any wavering of its thought process, where it is formed, then it is vijnanamaya kosha with its gyanendriya, through its sense perceptions, sense organs, whatever he has experienced, so that it decides firmly. There is no more doubt, no more vacillating, no more like pendulum wavering its mind. Then comes the chitta and ahankara. What are these chitta and ahankara? These are other parts of functioning of antakarana. Anusandhanatmika antakarana vritti chittam. When does anusandhan or smarana, when he remembers or tries to remember or just memory, that function brings out thinking, reminding itself, or remembering itself. Anusandhan means that finding something through memory. So that part is called chitta. Chitta means a storehouse of our knowledges that we are trying to remember that, remind it ourselves. Anusandhan, we find it ourselves, and we, from the memory storehouse, we can get that idea. So that is called chitta. The smaranatmika or anusandhanatmika. When we memorize or remember or remind or find it out. So that functioning of that antakarana is called chitta. Same antakarana. Man, buddhi, then chitta. Then another is called aham. Man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Abhimanatmika antakarana vritti ahankara. In the same ahankara, when it says I, the I idea, that ahankara, that I am. So that idea is called that ahankara or aham vritti. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. These are four functions of the same mind. So we will now come to the last one of this Pancha Kosha, Pranamaya, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manamaya, Vijnana we have done. Anandamaya will just end with this. Anandamaya kaha. Evam eva karana sharira bhuta vidyastha malina sattvam priyadi vritti sahitam sat anandamaya kosha. This is a big definition here. It's telling that Anandamaya evam eva karana sharira bhuta avidyastha. It is in the Karana Sharira. Karana Sharira we are given the definition is with this that Atma with the Avidya or Jnana, that is called Karana Sharira. So that's why Karana Sharira Bhuti established in the Avidya. Avidya Stha. Stha means the remaining, stationing, staying. So it is stationed in the or staying in the within Avidya, established in Avidya. And in the Karana Sharira Bhuta, it is a form of causal body. Causal body, we have said that it is called Pragya. We have told that in a state of that of Sushupti. Pragya means Prakrishta Rupana Agnya. And which is Malina Sattva. It is of Malina Sattva means it is of impure nature. It is not the fully that awakened, enlightened. That's why we say that Aham Kimapi Najanami. I did not know anything. Totally covered by avidya and or agyana or maya. That's why we say it was we did not know anything. But because it was sattva, that's why we say that I slept nicely. I slept happily. This much sattva was there, but it was because Malina we don't have any other knowledge. So priyadi vritti sahitam. What are the vrittis there? Priya adi. In English it is given priya adi is priya moda pramoda. Different vrittis are there. We will come details later on. The priya adi vritti sahita priya moda pramoda. Priya means which we like, moda which we have that we dwell upon that our likings, and when pramoda we mistake of to that, do wrong ideas or taking the wrong understanding. So all these are it comes in that state of due to avidya. That's why it is a malina sattva. We say we did not know anything. So sat, that is anandamaya kosha. So that is the anandamaya kosha. That is the bliss shit, we may say. So etat kosha panchakam. So here it ends that these are the pancha kosha. So here it ends the pancha kosha, and then he gives the Shankara Bhagavad Pad Shankaracharya gives the definition that Atma is Apart from this, nothing all this. He ends in 15. Madhyam Shariram, Madhya Prana, Madhyam Manascha, Madhya Buddhir, Madhyam Jnanamiti, Svena Eva Jnayate, Tad Yatha, Madhyatvena Jnatam, Kataka Kundala Grihadikam, Sasmat, Swasmat Bhinnam Tatha Pancha Koshadikam, Madhyatvena Jnatam Atma na Bhavati. What he's saying here? He's saying, जैसे मेरे कंगन कुंडल गृह आदि अपने से भिन्न रूप से जाने जाते हैं. I know that my house is, I am not my house. I say my house means I understand that I am something else. My house is something else. My kundal, kankan, my earrings, bangles, my dress, everything I say, they are mine. But that also means that they are not me. I am somebody else. This object is something else. ठीक उसी तरह मेरा शरीर, मेरा प्राण, मेरा मन, मेरा बुद्धि, मेरा ज्ञान. We also say my body and my prana, my mind, my buddhi, my intellect. We also say my knowledge. We also say similarly. So these are also my objects of knowledge, like my dress, my house, my earrings, my bangles, my car, my computer, my mobile phone, etc. Like this, my body, my prana, etc. अतः ये पांच कोशा, दिस फाइव कोशा, दिस फाइव शरीरा, all these are मेरा तरह ही. We know that as object of knowledge. So I am not all these things. This is by deducing by our intellectual understanding, because I know them. My body, my kosha, my annama kosha, my prana. So these are not me. I am different from all these koshas, from all these sharira. What I am that Atman. Like I am different from my house, different from my shirt, pant, etc., etc. That's why I'm different from my body, different from my prana, different from my mana buddhi. Then what is Atman? He is telling Atma Tarhikim. Then what is Atman? It is Satchidananda Swarupaha. It is Swarupa is Satchit Ananda. It is a nature of existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute. What is this Sat? What is this Chit? What is this Ananda? He is telling. We have studied that earlier also. Sat Kim Kala Trayapi Tishtati iti Sat. That which Kala Traya, तीन काल में अतीत वर्तमान भविष्यत. Then three अतीत भूत भविष्यत वर्तमान में जो तिष्ठति, that which remains unchanged in all time, earlier, present, and future. That is Sat. And Chit Kim, that is Jnana Swarupa. Chit means which Jnana Swarupa, not object of knowledge, but it's a essence, the nature of there is a very essence, is nature is knowledge, absolute knowledge. That is Chit. And Ananda Kim is not the Ananda Maya Kosha, that is a covering, but here Sukha Swarupa, absolute happiness, of which there is no Nirananda. No. Here also, but in the Sushupti, we have that Anandamaya Kosha. He says, I slept happily. But we wake up, again a sad person again will be sad. So it is not absolute happiness in the Sushupti and Anandamaya Kosha, because it is covered with, that's why it is called Malina Sattva. It is of impure nature. We don't know anything we say. But here this Ananda is Sukha Swarupa. This is the very essence and nature is Sukha, absolute bliss, happiness. So that is our nature, Sat Chit Ananda, absolute existence, knowledge and bliss. With this, we are ending today's chapter, and we will do the next chapter next day. Today we can end, time is almost over, but any other questions or any ideas, suggestions, feedback, a little bit we can listen. Anybody, any questions or ideas, or anybody wants to say anything? Please, Bolun.
Maharaj, I couldn't understand this one. Mm, Pramoda.
This we can next day again we can do that. I only we said very short here. Today it was said that Priyadi Vritya Sahitam, Priya Moda Pramoda. That Priya means whatever we our likings, and through that whatever likings we dwell upon that. Pramoda also we will sometimes that we through likings we were mistaken that which is not our nature, which is not our necessity, or which is not our requirements. Wrong things sometimes we through that mistakes we create. Like we know the Rajuta Sarpa Brahm is there, that when it is rope we see snake, but that is not harmful. But if we do the opposite, Swapame Rajubhram, there is a snake is there. Wrongfully we understand that is as a rope, then that will be harmful to us. We'll think it is a rope, but being a snake, it will kill us. So that is because it is a Malina Sattva, whatever knowledge it gives, our likings, it may not be the correct, it may not be the proper likings. It may give rise to attachments, raga, dvesha, negative many problems. So there it gives these terms are given examples of Priya Adi means Priya Moda Pramoda. It may give a wrong understanding, misunderstanding of the idea. In the Yoga Sutra, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there comes details Pramana, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smriti, etc. It comes. The Viparjaya, it comes in Patanjali Yoga Sutra that five these things, Britis can happen. Pramana is a correct may happen, but other things when Viparjaya, Vikalpa, these are the wrong understandings and negative things may happen. Nidra is one of the things, and Smriti another things may happen. So those are given details in Patanjali Yoga Sutra also. Here also in different other places, the details given. Here in very short we say that Priya Moda Pramoda means our likings, dislikings, and wrong understandings, our mistakings. So those are given because of Malina Sattva, impure nature. That's why it is called uh, Avidya, because Avidya is its source and it is in the Karana Sharira, which is that's why it is called Pragya in the individual self, means Prakrishna Rupna Agya is ignorant. This is what is called. আর কোনো প্রশ্ন বা আর কিছু? আজকে খুব শর্টেই আমরা তাড়াতাড়ি করলাম, নেটওয়ার্কের সমস্যা।
Maharaj, I
হ্যাঁ
couldn't
বলুন।
understand the difference between what is Chit and what is Ananda. It
হুম
is said that Chit is of the nature of absolute knowledge,
হুম
and Ananda is of the nature of absolute happiness. So
হ্যাঁ
when we get the absolute knowledge, we get absolute happiness.
হুম It is said
This is
that
the difference.
asti bhati priyo, the another word is being used in the Vedanta also. Asti is the Sat, the existence, absolute existence. Bhati means the knowledge, the Chit part. It is that's Jnana Swarup, the Prakasha. And the Priya is the Ananda, the Sukha Swarupa. The same thing, it's not three different things. Because it is a Brahman is that is its nature, very nature. They are not its attributes or guna. Like Sattva, Tamaraj, it's not guna. Then it will sometimes increase, sometimes decrease. It's not the sukha dukkha of that which we experience in this worldly life. It is absolute of which there is, like Sat, it is said that Kala Trayopi. It is always there, it is never that it doesn't exist. But Shara Bikara, we said that everything, worldly things, it comes to existence when it nashati in the end. We said in the Annamaya Kosha, it finishes and someday or other. But Sat is when all the colors, three colors, past, present, future, it will remain same. Jnana also the same. It never decays, that it never becomes ignorant. There's no question of ignorance comes. That's what is called Sarvaga Brahma Veda, Brahma Eva Bhavati. And Sukha is also that bliss is, there is no question of any sorrow, no more misery after knowing this self. Because it is a very source of all that. Thakur says that from the Vishayananda there is Bhajananda, there is Brahmananda, Brahmananda is the highest. And there this bliss is said where of which there is no sadness, no sorrow. So there it is said the absolute happiness. So happiness, that happiness is that Priya part, and that bhati is the prakasha part is jnana swarup, the chit, and the asti part, that which is his existence part, is called sat. So it is a three manifestations, we may say three ways of explaining that which cannot be explained, we may say. We can say that's why it is advaita, of which cannot be say that Thakur says brahma uchishta haini, that it cannot be said, but this is the nearest way which can be expressed. Or another way you can say it better is neti neti is the best word, that it is not asat, it is not achit, it is not nirananda. This is the nearest way to explain that. So this is the idea of Satchitananda Brahman. Very short. And that Jivatman and Paramatman, we said, is the one and the same. Ayamatman Brahman. Any more clarifications or suggestions? এটা পরে আবার
Another thing.
হ্যাঁ বলুন
Another thing that for Swapnavastha, it is said that it is said that whatever what has seen or heard in the waking state, that impression when we see in sleep, that is called dream. But sometimes it happens that we haven't seen that place, or we haven't seen that individual. We see them in dream. So it happens like that
Yes,
because
yes.
I have seen. I
Yes,
dreamt
yes,
of.
it can happen because our Jagras Avastha is not for only of this life. Because it is Jivis Anadi, this precious Anadi. We have an innumerable births we have taken earlier. From past birth also it may come. So past birth in the Jagrat we do not remember the past birth. But it is in the impression is there because Sulashari has been changed. The Sulashari decays and finishes in the new birth, you are taking up new body. So, but the Sukshma Sharira remains. But the same Sukshma Sharira from the past birth, it carries on to the next birth. It is as it were carries forward. So that impression will be there in the Sukshma Sharira. And that may create dreaming from the past birth. We have seen so many things. And because in the Swapna Avastha, we are that the sense organs are not functioning, Konvendriya Gyanendra is not functioning, seeing its own objects, Vishaya. So it is when you dream, it is thinking. So it may sometimes jumble up. I think you may say like so many we may say absurd happenings we may see in the dream, which in the dream time when we are dreaming, we do not think that it is absurd. It doesn't appear to be absurd to us. But later on, when we awake, then we understand the dream was so absurd. But during dream time, it was very, very consequential and very, very logical during dream time. Nobody thinks the dream to be absurd during dream time. Is it not? So later on, after waking up, we think that how we got those dreams, so impossible, abnormal things, how we dreamt that. So from earlier births also it may happen. And Jagrod also, we are thinking now it is very consequential, it is very logical. But when we go beyond that, in state of our future state, in Turiya, when we realize, then the Jagrod also will become that we will understand the Jagrod also is not at all logical. Everything is by Ishwara's Lila. It is just is Lila, it is happening. There is no cause and effect relation there also. Then we'll understand. So this is a very short understanding of that. So shall we end today? Do the Mangalacharan? Any more question? So let us do this. Om Vasudevendra Yogindra Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshuna Bhitarthaya Tattvabodha Bhidhiyate